Good
morning.
So, which chapter you are doing right now in school?
Chapter 4.
Okay. What is chapter 4 about?
Right now we're...
Actually, we have started in the last class until chapter 4, right? We have done 4.1 and 4.2, greatest common factor. In your school, up to what lesson you have learned?
2 days we were doing greatest common factor.
Okay. Any questions from 4.1 and 4.2?
No.
Any test?
No.
What about test on chapter 3?
I think we took that already.
How much you got for chapter 3?
I don't think she gave it back.
Okay. Okay, then start with find the GCF of these numbers. 15, 75 and 20. Which method you learned in school to find GCF?
Oh, we did the was the factor tree and the
Okay. So listing factor method is there and factor tree is there. So when you have bigger numbers, you will find very difficult by listing factors. So go for a factor tree method. Okay. And if the question specifically say to go for listing factor method, then you go for that. Otherwise, please go for factor tree method. Okay. So here use factor tree method. You write one below the another, then it will be easy to find the common. So what is the GCF here?
5.
5. Okay. Now find the GCF of 120 and 192. Only 3?
Oh, 2. Would you have to circle all the 2s?
How many are common? Circle that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Now find the GCF of 15 and 51. Okay. Next 28 and 45. Okay. GCF equal to 1. Such numbers are called what?
Relatively prime.
Okay. Relatively prime. Okay. So these are the things you are learning in second lesson. Okay. So shall I move on to the third lesson? Okay. In third lesson we are learning about equivalent fractions. What do you mean by equivalent fractions?
Like they can be divided.
So if I say write an equivalent fraction of 2 over 3, what you will write?
And then you do like divide by. So that one would be equivalent.
So here in this example 2 over 3. What is the equivalent fraction of 2 over 3? Write an equivalent fraction for 2 over 3. So equivalent fraction means it will be equivalent to the number fraction given. So it is how you can find an equivalent fraction. One thing, two methods are there. First one is you can multiply both numerator and denominator by same number. You can multiply by any number, but remember you have to multiply with the same number in both the numerator and denominator. Then the answer you are getting is an equivalent fraction. Okay. Second method is if it is possible to divide both the numerator and denominator by same number, then you can do that. And the answer you are getting is a equivalent fraction. So here 2 and 3, you cannot divide 2 and 3 by same number. Okay, it is not completely divisible by any common number. So what we will do is we can multiply both the numerator and denominator by some number, and whatever answer you are getting, that will be an equivalent fraction.
Okay.
So can you find an equivalent fraction for 2 over 3? Okay, 4 over 6. No need to divide again. 4 over 6 is an equivalent fraction. Okay, whatever you are getting after multiplying, that is the equivalent fraction.
Okay.
So if you divide this, if you are going to divide, you can divide both by 2. Then you will get 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Again you are getting the same number. No need.
Okay.
You have to find the equivalent fraction. That means you just multiply and get the value.
Okay.
Okay. Another question. 6 over 8. Find the equivalent fraction of 6 over 8. Find two equivalent fractions for 6 over 8. Okay, 3 over 4 is one of the equivalent fraction. Then one more equivalent fraction. Okay, 12 over 16. So it is not the compulsory that you have to multiply every time by 2. Multiply by any number. Okay?
Okay.
So this is the two equivalent fractions of 6 over 8. So this is how you are doing equivalent fractions. You have to either multiply both the numerator and denominator by same number, or divide. If it is possible to divide both numerator and denominator by same number, you can do that also, and whatever answer you are getting after multiplication or after division, that will be your equivalent fractions.
Okay.
Now how will you find whether a fraction is in the simplest form? To check whether given fraction is in the simplest form. For example, 4 over 6. I want to check whether this fraction is in simplest form or not. For that, what I have to do is, I have to find whether the numerator and denominator have any common factor.
Okay.
If there is any common factor you find, then divide the numerator and denominator by that common factor. The answer you are getting is your simplest form.
Okay.
So here 4 over 6. 4 is my numerator, 6 is my denominator. So you have to check whether 4 and 6 is having any common factor.
Okay.
What is any common factor you can find for 4 and 6?
2.
2. So divide both numerator and denominator by the common factor you got. Okay, so you got 2 over 3. So again you check the numerator and denominator. Any common factor for 2 and 3?
No.
No. So that means this answer is the simplest form.
Okay.
So when a fraction is written in the simplest form, there is no common factor between the numerator and the denominator.
Okay.
If there is any common factor, then that fraction is not in the simplest form.
Okay.
Okay. So I will give you a question. 8 over 28. Okay, 2 over 7. Now, 1 second, Cheryl. There is a method to find which is the common factor between 10 and 25, or between the numerator and denominator. What you have to do is find the greatest common factor of numerator and denominator. You know how to find GCF. Okay. So find the GCF of the numerator and denominator, divide by that GCF. Then the answer is the simplest form.
Do you have to do that for all the problems then?
No, if you, without, simple numbers, if by looking at ones, you know what is the common among them, no need. If you find it difficult to find the common among them, then go for GCF.
Okay.
Okay, no need to do it, because that GCF finding itself is a long procedure. So if, by looking at the question, if you are able to find what is a common factor, no need of a GCF there.
Okay.
Okay. So divide by 5,
Okay.
numerator and denominator. Okay, so the simplest form is 2 over 5. Now check 2 and 5. Can you find any common factor among them? No. So that means that answer is the simplest form. Okay, 7/70. Okay. In this lesson we learn how to find the equivalent fractions and how to find the simplest form of fractions. Clear? Okay.